What is up, my friend? AJ here from SocialGlow. We help people create highly engaged communities, and today we're diving into a topic that is critical for any thriving community, which is conflict resolution. You know, lots of people are afraid of conflict, and by the end of this video, you're gonna be well equipped to handle any level of conflict that's going on inside your community. And if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications so you never miss out on any of the content that we're shipping to you. And also, make sure that you wait until the end of this video because I'm gonna share with you my favorite conflict resolution framework that I've used with multi-million-dollar companies. You know, you probably know that disagreements are just a natural part of human interaction. I'd even go as far as saying conflict is part of the beingness of being human. However, if left unchecked or unmet, these conflicts can escalate and potentially tear apart a community. But don't worry, because today I'm going to guide you through some very practical steps to turn conflicts into an opportunity for growth and unity for your community. So let's get started. So step number one, acknowledge the conflict. Like, don't ignore the elephant in the room. It's essential to recognize that conflict exists and to openly communicate about them. You know, like, why waste time pretending like there's not some type of conflict? Because in the words of Foxy Brown, ain't nobody got time for that. Now, next up, step number two, understand the issue. My grandmother once told me that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So listen to all of the parties involved in the conflict. Like, ask open-ended questions, seek to understand their perspectives with empathy and compassion. And remember, it's not about who's right, who's wrong. It's not about like giving anyone some pity or sympathy. What we're trying to get at is it's about finding common ground and choosing to not take things just personally. Because no one can actually make you feel anything. No one can make something mean anything about you but you. Now, I know this may be a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, but if you want to be a great leader, you want to resolve conflict, you want to build a highly engaged community, it's going to require you to lead. And if you choose to lead, this means choosing to not take things personally and using your energy and your willpower to genuinely see things from their perspectives. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to agree with them. I'm simply saying, try on their perspective. Get curious about what it may be like. Help them feel seen. Help them feel heard and understood. Like, this principle, my friend, is a game changer. So let's move on to step number 3, facilitate a discussion. You know, if you have conflict, I want you to arrange a place and a space where everyone can express their feelings and concerns openly and respectfully. See, if it's a crucial conversation where the stakes are high, opinions vary, emotions are running strong, then I'd recommend that you get on a Zoom call or meet in person. That way, every single person can see the other person and read their body language, see what's really going on. And if that's not possible, then at a bare minimum, get on a phone call. This way, things are not getting lost in translation. You know, it's really hard to resolve conflict via text, email, or through direct messages because you just can't really see what's really going on. Like, if we're talking about a high stakes conflict, I'm telling you, you need to be in person, you need to be in Zoom. You know, remember, when you're talking with someone and you're trying to resolve conflict, the goal is to promote dialogue. The goal is not to debate, you know, like who's right, who's wrong. It's not the goal. The goal is to promote dialogue. Now let's get into step 4, which is we want to generate some solutions. Here, I want you to brainstorm possible solutions together. Like, take time for you to brainstorm, invite the other person to brainstorm, like solutions that's going to address every single person's needs. Now, this is where creativity comes to play, curiosity, wonderment. I mean, like, the more ideas, the better. And notice I said solutions that address everyone's needs. I didn't say everybody's wants or everybody's desires. I said everyone's needs. Because let's just be real, everybody's wants and desires, they just may not be on the table. Now, however, great leaders, I promise you, they always find a way to meet everyone's need, even if that means that somebody needs to leave the community is the best way to meet their needs. And finally, step 5, implement and evaluate. I want you to put the agreed upon solution into action. And then after some time, like, reassess to see if the solution is working or if, you know, you need to make some adjustment. Now, at the beginning of this video, I said I'd share my favorite conflict resolution framework that I've used with multi-million-dollar companies. So let me just share it with you. So it's really simple. It's called CPR. CPR. Now, the C stands for context, the P stands for possibility, and the R, well, it stands for resolution. So let me just break this down. So when we're talking about the context, we're talking about you're just going to share the context of what happened in the conflict. Like, how are you feeling? Maybe there's parts of you who's upset or frustrated or disappointed or angry or whatever. Like, share the entire context of like how you're feeling inside, and then also share the entire context of what actually just happened. Now, when you're willing to be vulnerable and you're willing to share the entire context of what's going on, what's happening is you're sharing the inarguable truth. You're not sitting here blaming or shaming anybody. Instead, you're simply sharing like how you feel without any stories or meanings, and you're really just sharing the context of what's happened or what has led up to the conflict, okay? And so once we have context, then you have possibility. This is where I want you to get curious and share like what you see are possible solutions. Possible solution 1, 2, 3, like come up with some solutions. So like I want you to be the proactive leader here in the conflict. That way you're not just rehashing the problem, instead you're like sharing the potential solutions. And then the R, it's all about resolution. Like after you share the context, after you sell the possible solutions, I just want you to say like, yo, how can you and I work together to resolve this? Now, if you just use this word and you're kind of sitting here with like this body language, is like, so how could you and I work together to resolve it? Not gonna work. If you're being a great leader and your like way of being is really genuinely, here's the context, here's what I see are some solutions. So I'm curious, how can you and I work together to resolve this? Like when you embody this, there's this space where like you're seeking to understand and trying to find ways to meet every single person's needs, right? And then that's where you're gonna start finding solutions, my friend. So there you have it, CPR. It's one of my favorite frameworks. I use it all the time to resolve conflicts, and that's what I wanna share with you. So today we've covered 5 actionable steps to resolve conflicts in your community, plus I've given you my favorite framework. So I just want you to remember this last thoughts here. Conflict isn't inherently negative, you know? Really, conflict is an opportunity for growth, for better understanding, and for stronger relationships inside your community. Conflict is like this refiner's fire. It sharpens all of the parties involved if you let it. So what do you think? I want to hear from you. Share your experiences or tips on how you've successfully resolved conflicts inside of your community in the comments below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Share this video with your friends if you found it helpful. So until next time, my friend, I'm out. Peace.